Hello twin flames, this is Victoria and I'm here with your daily energy check. Welcome to my channel. Whether you're new, you're coming back, I'm really happy to have you here, and this is going to be our regular check-in, but I do continue the updated format that I've been using lately. It just feels right. It feels like it's very much relevant to what we're going through right now, to the energies of the universe, of the twin collective. So I'm going to continue. For now, we'll see what happens. I'm still going to be starting with an oracle deck, and today it's going to be the wisdom of the keepers of the light. So we'll hear from the ascended masters and what they have to say about the energies and how to navigate them. And then we'll switch to tarot. I've got the steampunk tarot. I've got my golden foil deck for clarification, and we'll go more into the energies currently, and then we'll get an additional question that we'll get response to, and then of course the feelings towards each other. So all of it is going to be done with tarot today. Let's see where that takes us. All right, let's get started. Let's get a card for divine feminines first of all. I'll try to get back into the morning schedule of publishing, morning for my zone, of course. Yeah, it was a little bit hectic the last 2 or 3 weeks. I've been dealing with a few things in my life, and yeah, just had to make the best out of the schedule that I could actually make. But we'll see. Yeah, maybe I'll be able to go back to the morning publishings, because I feel like it gets more feedback, more response. So yeah, that's why I'm trying to get myself disciplined and back onto that. We have the divine director, intervention and purpose. Ooh, I love this card. This is the first card I got it in this deck in a reading that was done for me by somebody else. So this is like very much engraved in my memory. Divine intervention is occurring. Know that you're being guided. Happiness is your purpose. So as much as you can, and I know this is like, back to basics, but stay in the high vibe energy, stay balanced, focus on, your purpose, your direction, your goals, and not just like goals and like, I'm struggling now, but I'll get through it. I need this in my life to get to the goals. No, the whole philosophy should be, my goals are, are coming to me with ease, right? I'm kind of like accepting them. I'm in the receiving mode, right? Everything comes in easily, graciously. That kind of mentality, that kind of energy. And I know it's different from what we're used to believe, that for all those big goals and dreams, we're supposed to go through a lot of challenges. And I'm not saying that that's not true for the whatever it is you're doing, right? It's just that right now you're being asked to have that kind of vision about it, that kind of attitude about it. And you see the universe is the divine is intervening to get you to your happiness. So yeah, if anything, review and revise what that happiness consists of. What is making you happy. We are doing the new moon. We're having a new moon in Virgo this week, so this is perfect timing for determining what that is for you. What is the card for divine masculines? Lady Venus. Another card of feminine energy. Downloads and understanding. Truth is being revealed. Deep insights are coming from heaven and the astral realm. So masculines, if you've been having some questions that you needed answers for, this is the time to receive them. If you felt like you've been asking and never really heard back, this is when you are gonna hear back this week. And I'm doing this for like immediate, right now, and the next few days, so you can treat it as this week. You are gonna get the information you are missing, like the missing link into a picture to kind of tie everything together and be able to figure out your next steps, or figure out where you are in the game, like, you know, where are you exactly, like elocution spell. Where am I? How far have I come? Am I on, like, if you you know, if it were a video game with like 50 levels in it, it's like, am I on level 2 or in level 32? That's a good question. If you've never played the game before, you may not just know, right? So this is where that clarity comes in, that can help you like anchor yourself or do some sort of assessment to where you are, and if anything is needed from you at this time. But even if it is, this time is still more about surrendering and accepting those messages in, trying to understand them rather than rushing with some action. Okay, let's get into tarot. So we'll get a few cards. It sounds like it's gonna be 7. I need 7 cards for the spread, please. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Bottom of the deck, 7 of Cups. Yes, and maybe some confusion in the air now. I'm hearing particularly because there's been a lot going on in terms of healing and uncovering older karmic patterns and healing those. So it's like when that's happening from several areas in your life or in several scenarios, your brain might start getting foggy in terms of like, I'm not sure what to believe anymore, like, you know, like that cognitive dissonance, you know, where it gets lost for a second or two, or it may seem like a day or a week, you know, where it's like, oof, it's like I have to reconfigure my life to this new knowledge now, right? And that's scary and that's confusing. So that's what that 7 is for. Okay, let's get some clarifiers from the gold foil deck. Bottom of the deck here, 3 of Wands. Yes, waiting for the ships to come in. This is like, okay, we've done the work, now we're waiting for results. And that's a good wait. And it's not like anxious wait, and it's like, well, now let's see where it gets us or where it got us. Remember I spoke about 9-9 portal, and the 9 is like, this is like when this cycle is nearing completion. So that's exactly where we're like, okay, now, you know, we've been working hard on our crops, on like seeding them, you know, taking care of them, nurturing them. Now is the time where we are harvesting. We are enjoying our achievements, accomplishments, and the reward for our hard work. It's that time. Now the energy of Divine Feminines, we have 10 of Wands in reverse, clarified by 7 of Cups, another 7 of Cups. Yeah, so basically the Divine Feminine is starting to see new options, new opportunities, new solutions, new ways out, if you wish, from certain troubles or struggles that they've had for a while, for a long time, and they just couldn't put them down. And it seemed like the Groundhog Day, you know, like they were living it over and over again. It just wouldn't go away. So this is allowing to leave that behind and to get on with a new story, new journey, whatever that is. Something karmic. It can be connected with finances. I'm getting this for some with career, and well, it could be money, of course, there, or it could be just accomplishing something, getting a promotion, getting a project, a specific project that you want, you know, anything. And it can be something along the lines of relationships. Can be friendship, can be a romantic partnership, you name it, right? But yeah. For the masculines, we have 2 of Pentacles in reverse. I didn't even realize I have all these cards in reverse, maybe not all of them. 2 of Pentacles in reverse, clarified by Ace of Swords. So for masculines, it's a kind of a similar deal with the cows, But this is like they've been trying to be on top of everything and keep peace, be a peacemaker in their karmic ceremony for way too long. And now this is the time where they're saying, I'm not going to do that anymore. They're seeing the truth with the Ace of Swords. They are understanding how they got themselves into that and how to get out of it, the most important part, right? So that's like, okay, I don't want to be in this hustling mode. That's it, that's done. I've got bigger fish to fry than just wasting my energy on this errands and, you know, helping people get through tough times and whatever else was there. So a lot of this, like I was saying at the beginning of the reading, a lot of that karmic stuff is coming up and we are getting through it. We're learning our lessons in this cycle. So it may have seemed exhausting to you because it was, but this is all for a good reason, because that means that you'll have something bigger and better to look for in the new cycle, because that burden, once that burden is gone, then you free up the space and your energy for something beautiful. Okay, the extra question that we get today is justice clarified by 8 of Pentacles. So this is the Libra energy. This is working on finding compromise, on wanting to have both parties happy. If we're talking about the connection, right? And this is like the common question for each of the twins. This is like, how do we negotiate a solution that will make both of us happy, right? How do we find that compromise if we know that, you know, there are a lot of, well, maybe not necessarily a lot, but there are some substantial differences in our worldview, in our lifestyle, whatever that difference is for you and your twin. So for feminines, the answer is Queen of Cups clarified by the Hierophant, right? So this is like going right into the core of the values, right? Recognizing where is the love in those, right? It's like that song I'm getting, the old one with Lil Kim, Where is the Love? If anybody wants to check out it's not too lovey-dovey. It goes more towards, I think, if I remember correctly, because it's an old one, towards like politics and economy, but still. So this is like the feminines looking into, like, out of all those values or beliefs or non-negotiables that I have, especially around the relationship, right? Where is the love exactly? And this is also looking at, I'm being corrected, this is also looking at those things for the masculine, right? Whatever masculines have voiced before, that this is what they're looking for, this is what's important for them, this is what they really appreciate in relationships, what they value. They're also looking at that too, the feminines, I mean, right? If there's love in that, was that in that context, with those items, right? To see what makes sense to keep and what can just go, because it was an artificial rule that was not put together out of respect or finding energetic balance or being kind, but it's out of fear or stubbornness or just following the trend of what other people are doing, which is not a good idea. At least not for the twin flame relationship. For masculines, we have the High Priestess clarified by 2 of Swords. So for them, they're working hard on not just making decisions with their mind, not being stubborn, not being set in their ways like they were before, every single time before. It's just that the picture may have varied with time, because, you know, they were also taking notes on their experience, their friends' experience, etc. But they were still pretty set in their ways on how they wanted things to happen, right? And now they're starting to look deeper into the meaning behind those rules that they've created for themselves and their karmic partners previously. So that, you know, if it doesn't stand the test of, like, is this divine, is this kind, is this authentic, if it doesn't match those criteria, it's out, it's gone. And they're like, okay, yeah, it seemed important, I'm still maybe not sure, why it's such a bad thing, right? But it's like, yeah, no, that's not gonna be on the list anymore. Especially if they see that the feminines don't have it, because that's one of the ways they recognize and realize how grand this love is. Because previously those things were important to them. They were non-negotiables. They would stick to those. And now they're like, okay, my feminine is clearly not that, but there's still so much love that I don't care. I don't give a damn anymore about that point. And that's kind of like their logic, or the energy flow of how they are understanding that that's an artificial rule that is not directly connected with them being happy in a relationship. Let's put it that way. Okay, feelings towards each other. Feminines towards masculines. We have 8 of Swords with King of Pentacles. So she sees the potential of the masculine to be this King of Pentacles, which of course is first of all somebody successful, like an entrepreneur, somebody with the reputation, somebody with lots of achievements. But to her, it's mostly about being a life partner, being a father to her children, being somebody who is like the head of the household, right? Who can, I don't know, for some it could be like fix things, or I don't know, do the masculine manly stuff around the house. For others, it's more like budgeting and finance, right? Like, how do we invest? How do we save? You know, how do we plan for different goals or different events in the future, right? For the third group, it could be something like, how do we make like a loving space in our home where we can be practical with it, but also keep the love there, so it doesn't become cold and calculated. It still stays very much it has that home vibe about it, right? So there's a little bit of overthink based on either the previous relationships or something that went down with the masculine previously, where they haven't been showing up as the King of Pentacles. There is a bit of the concern, like feminines do believe that there is potential, but their concern right now in the self-sabotage is around, is that gonna happen soon enough? You know, am I gonna be patient enough to get there with them? Something along those lines. So thinking practical today, yeah. Thinking husband, father, and you know, take gender how it resonates. For some could be wife or mother, but you know what I mean, like that masculine counterpart in a family. For masculines to feminines, we have 10 of Pentacles clarified by Knight of Pentacles. So yeah, they're not the king yet, they're the knight, and they know it. But you know what, they have this big picture in mind, and I'm glad that it's all Pentacles, which means that the twins are on the same page, at least in this vision, right? So masculines are also thinking, 10 of Pentacles is also a family card, right? It's thinking about long term, it's thinking generationally, it's thinking about extended family and community, right? What kind of home, what kind of community we're going to create, right? What kind of people are we going to attract? Who are we going to invite home for, I don't know, Sunday dinners, or piano recitals, or Saturday dance night or something, you know, even playing charades or whatever, birthday parties, right? It's like that thinking, like not just next week, next month, next year, and thinking much further ahead. That's where there is synchronicity right now. But the masculines realize that they are the knight right now. That's the best they can do right now. And it's important, masculines, if you're watching, to accept this. That's fine, that's okay, that's where you are. It's important to acknowledge it. As long as you're, and I mentioned that in the previous video, as long as you're making progress, and the Knight of Pentacles is making progress. It may not be as noticeable to the untrained eye, but they are actually moving. This is like the epitome of like steady progress, you know? They're about the long game. They are about getting it right, rather than just doing it as fast as possible. Also, they are thinking about communicating something about that to the feminine, so communication could be coming in pretty soon. We have Mercury retrograde being over on Friday, so yeah, it's gonna be more, it's gonna push us a little bit more naturally towards having more communication and keeping things more in the open with each other. But yeah, I'm getting even a little bit of excitement here, even though this is the Knight of Pentacles and he's more reserved and kind of like following his plan or his duty or whatever that route is. But there is, I can feel that excitement. They want to share, they have come up with something. You know, maybe they've come up with something about that home or family or community, or you know, like I had this dream about how we're spending our weekends or whatever it is, right? Like maybe coming up with some meet cute tradition for the family, for your family, not like the even extended, but you know, the nuclear family. Okay, I think I'm gonna leave it here. Thank you so much for joining me today, guys. I love you all, and I'll be back with more reads very, very soon.